But inside the bones of the earth, there lurked a cold. It was not the cold of winter. Beside the houses of sorrows, pride, and vengeance, a new turmoil fomented, a magic hitherto unseen. The jester of the King of Winter, the fool who made a mockery of life, of everything, languished in a discontent. He heard the whisperings of power, felt its pulse. He saw visions of an endless winter, of a totality of nothingness. He was Gadflow, and he would follow the cycle no longer. The High King Mathon ruled the bleak, silent fields of wintertide. He kept the season as it should be. The blizzards howling, the skies filled with snow in the gloom of a long night. He purified the land under a white blanket and allowed death to end the slow decay of autumn. The woods paid homage in leaves. The waters paused at his arrival. The world revered him in a barren stillness. Until one night, when nature changed its course, and Gadflow, like an errant thread frayed from the weave, took the crown from Mathon's head. "A joke," he said, "a joke." And the court swayed in laughter, for Gadflow's was often like the mockingbird, with many calls, but none of his own. He placed the crown upon his head, and smiling, took a crimson sword. He betrayed the Fae with a swing of his newfound. And he was not alone. Like the weave unraveling, the Tuatha now tainted the purity of Mathon's court. These new immortals, the Tuatha Daon, were no longer the solemn Fae of the East. Their essences twisted into a ravenous host, unsettled, unnatured. From the nothing of winter came Gadflow's malice. And he named it Prismeer. It grows far beneath the Amethyst. It pierces the world, and the blood that flows from these wounds feeds Gadflow's hungry mind. These crystals, this Prismeer, whispered to him promises of power, of godhood. It corrupted his nature. The seeds of a blizzard sprouted in the form of a beautiful crystal. It was a gift from her, ere we knew our doom was at hand. The House of Vengeance enacted the whims of our mad king. The divided court became Gadflow's Tuatha by force or by rebirth. The Winter Fae dwindled before this wave of frenzied strife, and before long they were soldiers in an immortal army, or they were outcasts. Claran Vescain among them became his witch knights. War had come again to the Fae, but instead of by Lord Own, it was Gadflow the king without a winter. But Gadflow was not content to rule the court of winter. Mortals would bow before him as well, and so he made war on your people and drove them from the eastern lands. The Alfar fell before an avalanche of corrupted fervor. The Tuatha acted as one army and built the Prismeer chantries as new idols of their false mountain god, their Tirnoch. As the sun is to the forest, Tirnoch is to the Fae of winter. Some embraced this new god, this break from the great cycle. Others hid in the darkest of places. Gadflow spoke of Tirnoch, and the Prismeer emanated its power. It is a source of magic and hatred. It no longer slumbers beneath Amethyst. The unbroken horizon of the winter is now the fiery haze of destruction. And so, instead of an arcane age, Gadflow would have an endless winter. Not the winter of the Fae, but of Tirnoch's making. Gadflow has seen the visions of annihilation, of a blissful void across the world. It is not the will of Own, but against nature. The ageless decay of our people has become a weapon against yours. You, the Deathbringer and Siegebreaker, the usurper of fate and twice born,